Hello, this is Helena. We're coming to you with Soulbody Yoga, a 5-a-day, 21-day challenge. We will be doing a little bit of yoga, breathing, some meditative movement, and relaxation. So let's begin. So sit in a way that is comfortable for you. You can also sit on a chair if that is better for you. You can use a cushion or a block or two. So I will use a block to bring my hips a little higher. So if you can see that now my knees are a little lower than my hips, which means the hip flexors can be open. And then as you allow yourself to settle, take the flesh away from the sitting bones to bring the sitting bones a little further back so that your spine is in a nice upright position. Lift the solar plexus, soften the shoulders, and start by doing a few shoulder rolls. Inhale as you come up, breathe out as you come down. And then roll the other way. And back again. Bring your awareness inside to see what your body is feeling like from the inside. And then stretch your arms up, interlink the fingers, stretching up, make yourself really long one side and then the other. Deep inhale, breathe out. Let's do one more of those. This time we start to the outside. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Bringing oxygen to all your cells. Inhale, exhale. And then take a moment just to sit, bringing your awareness to the inside of your body, allowing your breath to connect. So breathe in deeply. And as soon as the in-breath completes, breathe out and soften the whole body. Inhale, breathe out, soften. And allow yourself to become really still, observing what is present right now, any sensations in the body, any recurring thoughts, any emotions that are present right now, and just allow yourself to be with whatever is coming up. And then stretch your right arm up. Lengthen. Make yourself really, really long and tall on that side, on the right, stretching that flank, and then keeping that side really, really long and elongated. So stretching the armpit away from the hips and softening the opposite leg to the ground. Come to the side. If you can't quite reach the side, the ground, without that hip and that leg leaving the ground, so you need to have the sitting bones still connected, then you can bring a lift in. You can put your hand on a lift. And then keeping that side long, on and out breath, bring the other arm up. And feel that beautiful stretch on the side of your body. So if you are mirroring me, then you should be feeling that on your left. Deep inhale. Breathe out, soften. Notice what the sensation is feeling like from the inside. And then allow your head to come up and down, noticing how that feels. Bringing some movement into the cervical spine. And keep on breathing. If the breath gets tight, it means you've gone a little too far. Then ease out a little. So it doesn't matter how far you go, it matters how aligned and how relaxed you can be in the position. And then slowly come back out. Just take a moment to integrate, to notice how one side feels different from the other side. Allowing yourself to become really still, observing your body from the inside. Let's do the other side. Lift your left arm, stretching the left side of your body, making yourself really long. Deep inhale, soft out breath. And then keeping that side long on the out breath, coming down to the side. And finding wherever you can go to that you can keep the opposite side on the ground, the opposite leg, the opposite hip. And then take that arm up. Make it really, really long, especially between the armpit and the hip. Keeping the side that is nearer the ground still elongated as you come over, breathing out, relaxing. Breathe in, inhale. Breathe out, soften. Inhale. Breathe out, soften. And then let your head go up and down, bringing a little bit of movement to the neck region. Keep your breath smooth and feeling that lovely stretch on the right side of your body. And keep softening the right leg to the ground, especially with your out breath. The out breath is a wonderful opportunity to just check which areas in your body are relaxed and which areas in your body might be a little tense. Where might you be holding tension? And see if you can release that tension. And slowly come back out. Again, taking a moment to notice what you notice. Notice how your body is feeling like. Maybe you feel a little taller. Maybe you feel a blood flow on the side of your body. Just take a moment to inhale, expanding the ribcage in all directions. Breathing out, soften the shoulders. Good. And now let's do a moving twist. So take your legs out to wherever you feel you have an adequate sensation here. So it doesn't need to be one that makes you feel tight and tense. Just go as far as you can go, that it's still comfortable, that your breath can still flow with ease. So that might be here, and that is okay for today. Just finding wherever you can meet the sensation in a comfortable way. And then stretch yourself out, stretch yourself up. Inhale, expand, inhale, lengthen, breathe out, twist. Looking over your shoulder to the back. Inhale, come up. Find your own rhythm, breathe out, twist, and see if you can keep your spine on top of itself, so staying in alignment, staying in your uprightness. You don't want to lean to one side. You don't want to hunch over. Now, I have quite long arms, which means I can reach the ground whilst my body stays upright. But if that is not the case for you, then you don't have to actually touch the ground as you're doing this. You can also just allow your arms to float. Imagine you had something underneath your arms, like a rising tide that is moving your arms. So we're also stretching our imagination. Inhale, rising up, breathing out, soften. One more. Last one. Coming back up, open, allowing in all the light, and come back down again. Taking a moment to integrate. Notice what you notice. Notice how your spine is feeling slightly different. Maybe you even want to go a little deeper in now. After a while of being in certain position, the body is releasing and giving a little more. Then we can go a little deeper in and just feel that stretch. Keep lifting the solar plexus. Keep softening the back. Soften the shoulders. Giving everything that is not necessary for your uprightness down to gravity. Allowing the weight and the holding to drop. Good. Now let's come on all fours and we'll do a small Pilates section to strengthen your back muscles. Make sure that you have your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. If you have trouble with your wrists in this position, then you can either come onto your fists to make sure that the line between the hand and the lower arm is straight, or you can also do this on the elbow. Now, bring your left leg up and make sure that the kneecap is pointing down. The foot can be quite relaxed. You don't need to hold any tension there. And already you're feeling your glutes working, you're feeling the back of the leg working. And then if you would like to, take the opposite arm up, so you are in a balancing position, as you can see. And then lengthen the fingertips away from the toes. Make sure you have no outward rotation in your leg. Make sure the leg is aligned and in one line with your body. And come up and down. Up and down. And allow your breath to flow as you are doing this. If you are doing this on your elbows, you can do the same thing from here. I like to inhale on my way up, breathe out on my way down. And then take the knee across and back up again. Knee across, back up. Knee across, back up. And lastly, just bending the leg and stretching again. Bend and stretch, bend and stretch. Keeping the knee level with the hips. Make sure, whichever position you are in, that you have spaciousness between your shoulders and your ears. And relax. Take a moment to notice what you notice. Okay, let's do the other leg. Stretching the leg out and coming up, holding it there, making sure it's inward rotated, and then going up and down. And if you wish, you can take the opposite arm in, coming up and down. And keep your breath flowing, making sure there is space between your shoulders and your ears, so the shoulders are relaxed. And making sure you only bring your arm up as far that it is aligned with your body, just as your leg. All coming up to being in one line or lower. And then putting the arm down and coming across with the leg and back up again. Across and back up. Across. Good. And then lastly, stretching the legs out, bending the knee. Keep the foot relaxed as you are doing this, as relaxed as possible. And if you can, keep your head aligned with your spine, so slightly tucking the chin in. Good. And then bringing the toes together, knees apart, Sit down on your feet. If that is uncomfortable for you, then you can put a bolster or a cushion or a block in between the heels and the back of the leg. If it's uncomfortable in your ankles, then you can roll up a sock and put it underneath the front of your ankle. And then come into child pose and rest. Breathing deeply. Expanding, receiving the in-breath. Soften, letting go of the out-breath. Good. Slowly coming back up. And then from here, take one leg forward. So I'm going to take my left leg forward so that there is an open angle in the knee. And then we go forward and backwards. If you need to, you can, in this position, bring your back or your trunk a little higher. So you can use some blocks here to lift a little, and this way you can keep your spine in one line rather than hunching over. If it is easy for you to do this and keep the spine straight without hunching over with your hands on the ground, then please do that. And then stay forward, feeling a stretch in the hip flexor. The hip flexor is so important for the health of your spine. Relax your toes, wriggle your toes. Breathing, inhaling deeply. Breathe out, soften. And slowly come back. Do the same to the other side. So taking the foot far enough forward. I often see this kind of thing when people do this stretch, and that is not very good for your knee. And the fact that your hip is so far forward and your knee goes beyond your ankle means you have far more flexibility in your hips than you think, which means you can come a little forward. By the way, if your knee is uncomfortable in this position, then you can also use a cushion or a block and put it underneath your back knee. So adapt it so that it's comfortable for you. It doesn't need to be a struggle. It's a challenge, but not a struggle. Bringing some movement into the hip joint, into the knee joint. And then stay forward, feeling the stretch in the hip flexor here. Wriggle the toes a little so that the foot can relax. And as always, spaciousness between the shoulders and the ears, and bringing the head in one line with the spine. And now see if you can tuck the toes under, lift the back knee, and step the back leg forward, bending the legs enough so that you can rest your body on top of your thighs. So the body needs to be resting on top of the thighs. You might need a chair behind you so that you can rest the buttocks on the chair so that you can get into this stretching position. So I would rather you didn't do this kind of thing, because very often we hunch over and have a lot of pressure on the back if we're not in connection with our thighs. So bend the thighs enough, bend the knees enough so you can rest your body on top of the thighs and let your head relax and feel this lovely stretch on your spine. If you bring the sitting bones a tiny bit higher, then you will also feel this on the hamstring. And then one vertebra at a time, keeping your arms relaxed, keeping your arms hanging, keeping your head hanging. One vertebra at a time. Roll yourself up. One vertebra at a time. Bringing your consciousness into your spine. Relaxing your feet to the ground. And slowly take a moment to ground, softening your feet into the ground, Softening your shoulders, lifting your solar plexus. And let's do a balancing posture. So take your whole weight on one leg, soften the knee of that leg, pull your navel in and up, take your leg sideways on top, soften the shoulders, take your hands together if you would like to, or stretch the arms out to the side. Imagine you are resting on something invisible, and this way it's easier. And then sit back. So I'm going to show this sideways. Sit back as if you are sitting on something behind you. And rest your arms on these invisible objects. Allow the space to help you. Even connect your fingertips into space as if you had an invisible string on each and every fingertip. And you should feel that stretch on the side here, on your abductors. Keep your body as upright as you can in this. And slowly come back out. Good work. Other side. Spread your toes. Relax your standing leg. Take the other leg up sideways on top. And imagine you are trying to reach a chair that is far behind you, either hands together or hands on invisible objects. Keep your spine in one line. See if there's any gripping in the toes as you're doing this, and if you can, relax the toes. The hands have no effort at all. They are quite relaxed, but in one line with the body. Slowly coming back up. Bringing the hands to the heart. Take a moment, allowing your feet to soften into the ground. Noticing your heartbeat. Noticing the flow of energy in your body. Feeling the length in your spine. Feeling any sensation you can feel on the inside of your body. And that is your first challenge. Done. Well done.